Yeah, right, right. Or I mean, the obvious of detection. I mean, see, invisibility is an underwhelming spell as it is. No, I I've kind of carried that same philosophy around charm effects, where I was like, I've traditionally steered clear of charm effects with my
Welcome back, everybody. Last week was action-packed. With us basically wrapping up. I mean, we kind of did it the previous session, but we did a recap for wrapping up with the giant corpse swallower dude. Turns out that he's the guy in charge of rocks. And so from there, you guys decided that it was just a smarter idea to teleport across the map, or plane shift rather, because he didn't want to stay that long in the frozen north. So basically, you guys warped your way to the ruins, where we found some strange shenanigans happening. The ruins of Daggerpell. Basically, everything there seemed to be some sort of illusion. Vondar, with his high passive perception and active perception, found a secret door behind a giant rock. We went through the tunnel, found a couple of vats of boiling liquid metal of various types, and some skeletons, which Shion touched and used her seeing into the past ability, found out that the corpses of those creatures were thrown into the molten metal. Oh. And then something slithered in to the molten metal to pull out the corpses, to eat the corpses, and leave behind the skeletons. And basically, through some other checks, we figured out that some of the people we saw in town that we were having issues with, an elf, an orc, and something else, I think it was 2 orcs and an elf or something like that, were actually Merilith. But they weren't the scary part. We continued on through a door that was beyond those metals, and we found a giant complex that it was. We went through said complex and found some mind flayers, some squid faces. And Vondar was having some trouble lockpicking the door, so Feldnot decided to just disintegrate said door. And then spend an entire combat out of commission, because casting spells at that high level fatigues him significantly. So basically, after taking care of the mind flayers, we entered the room, and these eyeballs kept appearing everywhere on the walls, and all of a sudden magic just stopped working.
That sounds horrifying.
There was a Medusa in a cage that we didn't let out. There were some wizards in a cage that we didn't let out. I kept getting hit with attacks that I was immune to, because divinity has immunity to most of the minor stuff. So, I mean, it hurt, but, other than when I was getting hit with force beams, the rest of it was kind of meh. We decided to eventually, because it was just really annoying, because you couldn't do anything about the eyes, we decided to bust down the next door, and we found a floating brain. And upon a couple of test hits, first from Vondar shooting his gun, and Feldnot fucking dumping his entire I'm going to hit you really hard setup into it, we realized that it could reflect damage. And we figured out what the Meriliths were for. Said brain was stealing powers from other creatures. And it had inherited the Merilith's ability to react every turn. Yeah, nearly killed myself with the first punch. Anyway, after some intense battling between the brain and the party, we eventually brought it down with falling coins. Because yes, it's just the coins also brought me down. But that's okay. I have things for keeping myself from dying. That was the last time I could use it. I didn't even have any more key after that. So we looked around a little bit more. There wasn't really much to find, and Vondar did not find a crystal within the brain. So we collected the crystal.
So wouldn't that mean that it's not actually dead? Or it's not actually a creature? Like, it's like a...
As far as we know, sure. As far as we know, sure. I mean, we didn't look too deep into it, honestly. We were just like, oh, there's no crystal. That sucks. But we were also all really not wanting to stay anymore.
Right. Yeah.
So,
Kind of low, too.
yeah. So, we collected the Mind Flayer's crystals, and then we jetted back to... well, first we made a stop at Vondar's forge because he finished the statue of Bahamut during one of his downtimes, and then we basically ended session in front of the Merchants Guild with him. He's going to turn in that statue. There we go. All right, so paid. You're gonna probably get some experience as you turn in the other quests. So as you start the session, you guys find yourselves in front of the Merchants Guild with a giant statue. Well, I don't know about giant, but fairly large. It's probably what, large or huge size, Hondar?
Probably large.
Okay. And it does appear to be entirely made of platinum, at least as far as the eye can see.
We can bring it inside and present it to the receptionist.
Oh, welcome to the Merchants Guild. Holy shit, it actually got done. There is just this look of awe and dumbstruck combined. Awestruck, that's the word I was looking for. As this receptionist, of who is a elf, beholds a platinum statue of Bahamut. So I take it you're turning in the quest for the statue.
Yes.
One moment. I need to talk to management. She enters the back room.
Real quick, out of character, did the quest say that it was from Bahamut? Do I know who commissioned it?
I think officially it's from the Temple of Bahamut, but I mean, he was the only one running the temple at the time that this quest was requested, so it's up to you whether you would infer that or not, but...
I don't know that much about their politics or whatever.
You can... Even though the door is closed, you can hear almost excited murmuring coming from behind the closed door. As there seems to be a debate as to what this quest is worth. The quest has been you with your high passive perception, anyone who has above, let's say, a 20 would hear tidbits of conversation. That quest has been here longer than I've been a member of the guild. What do we do about this? It's listed as an E, but there's no way that's an E. They don't even think we'd have E quests anymore. And so the basically the conversation kind of steers towards that this is going to be rebranded as a special quest. And because you are using a material that is very hard to come by. Normally, it's getting a substantial increase in reward, and then they're also trying to figure out how they're going to contact the person who put the quest in, because Lord Bahamut has since moved area codes. So these are never worth XP because they're merchant quests, but they are worth double the okay, so merchant quests do not yield XP, but they yield double money that a normal quest. No, actually, no, I think it's 4 times as much because they also don't yield tokens. So hold on, I need to do some math here real quick. So times. So a sort of portly gentleman comes through the door. At first, it's hard to tell what he is because he looks like a beardless dwarf.
A gnome.
But he's not a gnome either because he has all of the builds of a dwarf. It's just like no beard. But he would approach. Yeah, sorry. It took us a minute to find the records on this, and then obviously we need to change it a little bit because it's been 120 years since this quest was put on the board. I was told that the reward is 2 things. This, as he puts down what looks like just a black crystalline square. It would, to you, Vondar, it would look similar to a bank card, but it's not quite like the ones you've seen. And then it's also worth this, and there's a scroll that he puts down.
I'll take a look at the scroll.
Do you speak is it Draconic? Draconic.
No.
We can hear you. You're quiet.
Oh, I'm here. Wonder, can I take a look at that?
Yeah, sure.
Oh, read
It
it.
is very confusing, Shion, because as you look at this, it's not Draconic. You understand every third word as you read through this, because when you're looking at it and you're like, okay, this word means this and this word means that, but you're realizing that it's not even like a combination of languages. This just seems old.
I'll both look at the language. Be like, Riven, you know what this is?
Well, I can make him look at it. He would take a look at it and a look of, it's not confusion, but he's perplexed. He would tell you that he knows very little of the language. He knows enough to be able to read what's in front of you, but he wouldn't be 100% confident in his translation, considering the last time he read this dialect of Draconic, he was still a wizard, and a baby wizard at that. But he would tell you this is ancient Draconic, spoken by Basically, dragons who were around longer than this world has existed. Or at least that's what the book he read said.
Mm.
But basically, it's not even a letter. When he reads it out, it doesn't, the words don't make sense until Shion and Riven, as he's speaking it out loud, both of you kind of, it's almost like that light bulb moment for you. It's not it's not words, it's an incantation. And in the way that Riven is saying it, it's not doing anything because you're not supposed to read it like a you would read a letter. It has to be written read in a specific order.
If it is, it's draconic magic, which is out of my sphere of influence.
Yeah, maybe don't
Let
do
me
that.
let me take a look at it, and I'll use my arcane blacksmith to cast identify on the scroll.
Okay, so you okay with me just saying out loud what's there?
Yeah.
All right, and just so, I don't know if you saw it, but I added a few more things to Arcane Blacksmith.
Yeah.
Rarity is artifact. And there's also another number by it, which tells you how many of that item currently are in existence. There are only 3 of these, which is already somewhat surprising to you because artifacts generally only exist as one copy of that artifact unless someone has petitioned another being who can make artifacts. So like Lynx, for example. But it's Artifact 3, common material. This is made out of something called dragon silk, which is a material you have never heard of. But your eye would identify it, so you know it's there. And this is called a scroll of boons. Basically, when it is read in the proper order as read as a proper incantation, it will grant the user in up to 6 targets of the reader's choice a boon of Bahamut. In this case, it's the boon of the elderly traveler.
Okay.
Zara out at the same time, at the same place. That's gonna be tricky.
I think technically they're always at the same place at the same time.
Aren't they the same person?
No.
Feldnut looks at you very offended. I am not Czar. How dare you?
But don't you like warp into one another? Like
We exist in the same space, but we are not the same soul. It's very tricky. It's hard to fully describe, but basically this thing, as he points to the Gemini symbol on his hand, allows us to exist simultaneously. It's just only one of us can be active at a time.
I think it will work itself out.
Well, we can save this for later once we figure out how to activate it.
Yeah, about to say that was the first thing.
Yeah, and the bank card looking disc, I'll ID that as well.
Well, the first thing you would know is it's not a magic item, but your identify still would would still register. It's basically kind of like a prepaid debit card. It's called a card of money. And issued exactly so rarity actually comes up as question mark because there's not really a rarity scale for it. But you would know that there are only 10 of these in existence. Also, there's a very big word next to card of money that says prototype.
does it tell me how much is on it?
A lot. This much.
Actually, the real question is, what is that currency even in?
Probably still gold.
Something made of gold, but far more
I'm not big enough
precious.
to remember gold. Never mind.
That's a lot.
Yeah. Tell me about it.
All right. I'll thank the guild representatives. Shall we turn in the adventurers? Whoever said a hunter's guild quest.
I think I wrote that down. It was hunters. So, as you enter the Hunters Guild, there appears to be an Aarakocra manning the station this time.
Oh, he's back.
Welcome on in. What can we do for you today?
We have a quest to turn in.
Present your guild card, please.
I'll hand over my guild card.
Oh, took care of the brain, did you?
Yeah.
Let's see. So, go back to the Monday campaign page because this just makes it easier. Alrighty, so the quest is worth 7,000 experience for everybody. That's not split, that is each. And then, what did we rank this as? B. And let's see, so Who's feeling lucky? Are you able to roll some dice?
Yes.
Roll. Roll me 2d20, 2d12, and 2d10.
Fourteen, 11, 13.
And roll me 1d100.
97.
Of course. With that, roll me 9d10.
44. Everything was averaging, except for that 100.
And there is your payout for the quest.
I'm so glad I was there in spirit, guys.
Always. Always here in spirit.
I mean, it's better than what happened to Riven. He got stuck in the corridor. I couldn't carry his cardboard right, so, went to take him through a door and he got stuck.
Oh no! Wait, so is he still a slime?
Partially, his legs have returned, I believe.
Legs and arms.
So he has normal Riven arms and legs, but he's still a slime body.
Yep.
That's
And you learned it's a magical effect because when he stepped into the anti-magic field, he turned back into a Riven.
Oh.
So, I mean, you're allowed to do with that information what you will, but
Well,
it's there.
I would prefer not to piss off Bubblegum.
This kind of reminds me a little bit of when, he had a penance on him with Lady Honorat. It's like, yeah, we could mess with that, but should we?
So it's up to you. Just letting you know that was something you guys discovered last session.
So that post you just made for each, we each get 8 tokens, 16 iridium, 4 steel, and 1 rare.
40 steel and 1 rare.
Okay.
Yep.
I give a little bit.
No, you're good. And the second half is literally just the extra that got tacked on.
Yeah. Oh, that's why. Okay, 2000 EP. That's what it is. Oh, I'm stupid. Okay, we need to do math on that.
Anything else I can help you with today?
Do not believe so.
I got nothing.
Thank you for choosing the Hunter's Guild and have yourselves a wonderful day.
Oh, actually, sorry. We have a couple of crystals we can turn in. I'll hand over 3 blue crystals.
Ooh, yes. I have 16 light blue crystals to turn in.
So 3 blue and 16 light blue. Was that what was said?
Correct.
Yeah.
Do Felnot and Zar share a wallet?
No. We have our own bank accounts. But you don't worry about splitting it 6 ways, just split it 5 ways.
Me, Cinnamar, Vondar, and
Feld not Riven make 5.
okay, perfect.
So for the light blues,
Wait, is that emerald pieces?
Yes.
correct.
Oh.
Man, damn, Vondar, you are just lucky as hell today. If it, if it's a roll that involves Vondar, let him roll. Apparently, the dice gods just want to give him money.
Holy fuck.
Does anybody want to donate or comment voucher? Does anybody want to know about that?
I don't care.
I don't.
Well, too bad, Vondar. You get one. Would you like it, Vondar?
Let me see if I don't think Feld not collected any crystals, but let me just double check. I usually let you guys handle the money making stuff. It doesn't look like I have any crystals. I want you to know that was on your max roll, by the way, for those blues. Fucking crazy. Huh. I guess my flares are just blue.
Oh, it is green. Hello.
He's just listening. Is that all?
I think so.
Thank you for choosing the Adventurers Guild. Have a wonderful day. Sorry, Hunters Guild.
It gets confusing from times to times. So, guys,
So we're gonna have a rare voucher left over for small evenly, including including Czar. Because we have 7 of them. So one person should take 4 less tokens and an additional rare, which I think is a pretty good deal. Who wants it? Who wants an extra rare?
Or we could just give it. Is this for the sculpture?
No, this was for the actual quests.
No.
Yeah. Who needs an extra toy?
I need the tokens.
Okay. You need the tokens?
Yep.
I'll take the extra toy then. And I'm only saying that because nobody else spoke up.
Yeah, you're good. It's okay. I'm doing 5D chess over here.
So, with that being said,
How many tokens?
we don't have anything pressing going on anymore. So, it's are we gonna do our 2 weeks of training?
Soon, yes.
Sounds like a good idea.
Bell, Czar, Ribbon. Oh, that's right. Okay. Feldnot. Do you mind if I go shopping for like a work center to put into the forever room? If I put stuff in there, is it gonna stay there?
No. There's a reason why there's nothing. There's a reason why there's nothing in there.
Okay. Do you have any plane that I could put that stuff into, and then you give it to me whenever I need it?
Yeah.
Okay. I'll do that then. stuff, and that I just posted into the Discord as well, and I'm gonna add everybody so that
Okay. Well, while you guys are deciding everything else you need to do, I'm gonna use the bathroom real quick. So I'm still listening, but feel free to talk amongst yourselves.
maybe Vondar can answer this question. How many blues and how many light blues did we turn in?
13 light blues, 3 blues.
Yep.
Oh no, 16 light blues.
13 light blues. How many blues?
Yep. 3 blues, 16 light blues.
Yep.
Okay, we're in that math through. 2,872 times 16. We each get 19,603 iridium for the stones.
That's more iridium than what the crystals were worth. The values. That's not for each crystal. That's the crystals in total, as I understand.
Oh, shit. Okay. Never mind then.
Yeah, because if we were making that much money off of light blues and blues, then people would never have to work.
We don't have to work anyway. Do you know how much money we have?
I mean, because we went up against a particular type of foe that was worth a lot of money that was within our skill set to immediately annihilate.
Okay, so amend that 3,178.
I am back.
Sorry, I'm just doing the bookkeeping.
We appreciate your sacrifice. I would like to post a quest.
What is the nature of this quest?
The nature of the quest is the gathering of the recipe for the Belt of Godly Forms. So, I need a Star Spawn Dry Brain, which that should probably be the easiest. Cinder of the Lord of Cinder. A Zwei's Feather. A Noxia Scale. Legendary Phoenix Feathers. And a Mind Shard piece. So, and I will offer a reward for each item individually.
Would he know what a star spawn is?
I might actually have an inkling as to what Starspawn are because the absurd amount of time I've spent in the Astral Sea.
No,
No.
the knowledge of them got wiped out, is what he was saying.
Oh.
You guys
I
trade.
believed it.
Yeah. In this case, he knows what the ingredient is. He may not know what exactly it comes from
There we go.
because he got this recipe from a blacksmith who would know what it is. Because he was outside of the realm when that happened.
So that might be a lot harder to get.
Well, I was gonna say even before that one, there were 3 of these that there's a good chance that you. Let's see. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'd say out of 6, 3 of them are gonna be difficult,
No?
but not impossible.
Yep. The idea is just to have this quest posted in the Hunters Guild and the Adventurers Guild. That way, if somebody ends up doing some of this, that's less work that I have to do for the other stuff. Since we're going to be taking 2 weeks to do level ups anyway, might as well let this start cooking.
Give me a moment to look up the creatures those come from. As the Aarakocra starts flipping through some books.
Is anybody giving us any weird looks in the Hunters Guild?
It's just you guys in the Aarakocra right now. So Sierra 21.
Does not like this amount of magic items.
Doesn't surprise me. CR29. CR30. CR27.
Yep, definitely is his rank quest.
And CR30. Well, this is just a material gathering, so they might get lucky and find them on the market or something.
Right, that's the hope. But that is also something that I will be doing, is checking the market in the auction house in the meantime.
Okay. Due to the nature of what you were asking for, this is definitely going to be marked as the rank quest.
That's fair.
If you want, you could make it a special quest so that anyone could attempt to do this.
Yeah, let's make it a special quest. Because you don't.
If it's finding items, it'd be really a limit. I mean, some idiot might get lucky.
Right.
Where's the handout that tells you what you can buy with guild tokens?
Go to. Oh man, it's been a while since I've looked at it. I believe it's in journal. Yeah, it's in journal. Guild token redemption at the bottom.
Oh, it's what little quest was the brain?
B rank.
B?
detected at your.
Since you've already, I mean, actually, nah,
And an entry fee for a quest of this magnitude is 100 emerald pieces.
okay, here you go.
Do you want to tack on any additional rewards?
Out of character. So how does that? Because the intention was to give a different reward for each piece depending on the value of it. Is the extra like just here's more incentive for actually doing this?
You submitted this as one quest, meaning it's going to be all turned in at the same time.
The intention was to be able to have each piece be separately turned in,
Mm-hmm.
so it's not forcing someone to gather all of them.
Additional rewards doesn't mean anything. You don't have to give them, or you can decide how much you want to give them.
Both out of character and in character, we are kind of going a little overdrive because we never really messed with stuff like this before with this much money. Let me look at my bank account really quick. I still have 3 million in there, so for something like this, I mean, I need to save something for the quest reward. I guess we'll do 500,000 iridium.
Very well.
That should be for everything. Because
That's gonna be for everything, yeah. Since this is one quest.
Can probably get a smaller reward. I don't know if you're how you're doing that, but
Figure it out when someone turns something in.
Pleasure doing business with you. We will let you know if and when the quest gets completed.
Okay. $2,000 later.
yeah, didn't we just complete a quest that has been around for
Yeah, Vondar did.
Yeah, Vondar did.
I think 500,000 is fair for collecting a bunch of different stuff as a incentive. I think.
Should I go use one of my common vouchers for a cloak of bellowing?
To look epic, yes.
I am thinking of how to replace my cloak of protection because it's kind of underwhelming at this point.
Yeah. I mean, things add up, but like you need more than a +1 and a +1 there. You know, you need like 20 +1s.
But I'm like, I don't have a. What I would really like is a cloak of the or a robes of the Archmagi. That's legendary. So I might go by the guild hall and get a quote.
I mean, you have several million iridium. You can just buy one, probably.
Sure can. Yeah, that's why I want a quote.
You'll get us to spend this money somehow.
Well, about 4 million of it is wrapped up in the stock market.
And then everyone turned into whales, and it didn't matter.
The fact that we still have a functioning society when that has happened more than once is amazing.
Well, it doesn't happen anymore.
Oh, that, but also, you know, society only completely remakes itself from the beginning, so you know, it's a new machine, so to speak.
As you turn to leave. Quest complete. Please come by the Adventuring Guild to deposit the money and retrieve your belongings.
Wait, what?
Someone got it.
Wait, hold on. Was that for B?
Yeah.
Okay.
Who else would it be for? Go get back in there.
Go do the thing. I want. I don't know how to do this. Help me, good sir.
Just subtract the 500,000 iridium from your sheet.
Oh, I already did that.
Oh, well then you're good. Then just add the. I would just create 5 entries, like that are just loot, and then just name them each item.
I don't need to because Field Knot is in the room. A Field Knot. Could
Yeah?
you deliver these items to your dad to make the belt?
Hold on, as you watch him collect 256 guild tokens and 500,000 iridium.
Okay.
Do we need to just sit back and just take a second to appreciate the vast sums of wealth that are being exchanged right now?
That's fair.
You only asked him for the recipe. You didn't ask him anything to spare.
I wouldn't think that he would have spare items of these things.
Well, fortunately. Oh, they are. They absolutely are. They're all from legendary creatures and mythic creatures. But I had to go gather those myself. I didn't beat these things. I gathered these things. It's easy to pull a feather out of a bird.
How'd you get the
Well, first you have to catch a bird.
I didn't have to catch the bird. I fly faster than the bird.
Okay, that's cheating.
Oh, like, how'd you pull a brain out of a star spawn?
Well, that one I actually just got from my dad. I'll be 100% candid with you on that.
I cheated.
And it didn't take an entire brain to make the belt, so I was wondering.
Half of them.
I was wondering what I was gonna do with all these materials, but hey, I just got a good payout. So
Hey, you know, you've earned it.
actually, I literally was as you were telling me what you wanted to do, I was rolling to see if I had anything left from each one. The only thing I didn't have anything left of was the Sender from the Lord of Sender, but I just paid my dad for the last piece. Benefits of your dad being one of the most powerful blacksmiths in existence.
Yep.
Riven, you forget I can grow to the size of a skyscraper. There ain't no bird that's gonna outrun me.
That's fair.
By any chance, do you have any Souls of Phoenixes left over?
Hold on, let me reroll to see. No.
Terrifying.
I've built a habit of just asking two people in my life if they can solve a problem for me, and those two people are
Yeah, I mean, I would like to be able to solve my problems on my own, but we're still building up to that.
we're getting there.
Yeah, progress.
And I just happened to roll really well. The dice are, I would say, ultimately, the dice are on the party side today.
Very
I rolled near max on both of those for light blue and blues. And then for your reward, I rolled near max on a couple of those things.
Okay, well, this matter is settled fantastically.
While they're doing this, can I actually start looking into Draven through the Honor Dials? I'll just tell the group to message me whenever we are ready to continue or figure out what we are doing.
Well, that'll be probably in 2 weeks because we're gonna do our training montage.
Oh,
Oh, actually, I'm gonna need to go to the Honored Isles because I'm gonna take my first level of Dragon Rider. I assume I need to go there.
That would be a wise idea. I mean, you can technically do it here, and it would have a very interesting interaction, but at the same time, it's a lot less work from their part.
Yeah.
Correction, it was 180 guild tokens.
it was I had 180 guild tokens.
What Simamar just put in as a quest.
Oh,
Is it post another S rank quest so you can immediately complete it?
Sure. Actually, first of all, I'm going to take a hint of my own advice. Felnut, do you have a spare Robes of the Archmagi laying around somewhere?
Sorry, I do not. I mean, I can always ask my dad, but it's gonna cost you.
Can you give me a quote on that?
Sure.
It would be easier for my dad than it would be for me. Just go from there.
That and it probably has some extra features or some nonsense. Like my Cloak of the Mists is apparently the Will of Ascension. Still working that out. I need to pray to Thea more.
About 125,000.
I will write you a check.
Opens a pocket dimension, walks through, closes it.
I hand you the check. Hopefully.
Yeah. All right, so Riven and Vondar are going to the Honored Isles.
I'll be staying in the city at my house, working on Monk.
Something about practical pieces. Furniture, an actual goddamn bed, some books, and some other things that I need for mental health. Gonna yeet it with Feldnut's permission into one of his demi-planes and have that at my disposal when he puts me into the forever room in 2 weeks.
Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna start with Riven and Vondar here.
Yeah, that's good. That's a good process.
As you arrive on the Isles, Riven, what is your target destination? Riven?
Riven.
Oh, yep. Sorry, I didn't realize I muted. I'm gonna actually reach out to the guy that helped me the other day, the Archmagus, and see if he can point me in the direction of Draven or how to contact him to go about my training.
See if he even knows.
Mm-hmm.
Hmm.
It sounds
Where
like he
is?
doesn't know.
The DM doesn't know.
Oh,
I have to remember where I put him last. Hmm. Um.
uh-oh.
Time for a roll.
That sounds good.
This will be interesting. Last I heard, young man, he was in Hades.
Oh, great. You have any way to contact him?
I mean,
Although I highly doubt he's gonna want to help me.
I will contact him on your behalf.
Okay. Before we departed, I would have also asked Feld to see if he had that item for the anime power.
One moment. I mean, I can teach it to you, but it's not an item. It's an anime power called item. And those take 2 weeks to teach.
In order to learn Energize?
No, it's to teach you to learn item rank 0. Which then can be, Energize can be applied to.
To the item?
Yes.
Got it. Okay. I'm not gonna have you do that right now, but maybe after we get done training. You have you have a room, right, Feld, that slows down time somewhat? Question mark.
Technically speeds up time. It moves faster than here.
Okay. What's the conversion rate?
120 per hour.
I may ask you to put me there.
Shion will have you glad for the company.
Because there's several things I need to do in a very rapid succession.
I mean, you won't learn from Draven in there. Keep that in mind.
No, and that's fine. The 2 weeks, it'll be something I like when we're traveling that I'm gonna end up doing.
Okay. He says he'll take you on as a trial apprentice.
Awesome. Ask him where do I meet him?
What? Not comfortable with the idea of Hades?
No, I mean that's fine. If that's where we're going, that's where we're going. I would ask if he could either take me there or if the Magus could TP me to him.
For your sake, he'll come to you. He doesn't think you'd survive Hades.
I mean, he's probably right.
If you spend more than a couple days there, you start turning into a larva. And you, in particular, would convert fast.
Me?
Yes, you have sins that need to be cleansed.
No.
And a world title that follows you around that is an immediate thing.
Yeah, 16,000 sins to be correct.
Exactly. Actually, no. He'll have you meet at the Dragon Isle because the last time he went to the material plane, things happened,
Yeah. Sounds good.
and he's not sure if there are any more nuclear strikes primed.
Hopefully not. I also hope there's. I've been a part of enough of those where we don't need any more.
So he'll have you meet him at the main castle, assuming Vondar comes with you just out of convenience.
Yep.
So while he is waiting for his master to show, Vondar, you would be directed to sort of a barracks-like structure where they basically just start instructing you, and it's gonna take about 2 weeks to learn, obviously, but they're gonna start instructing you on the ways of the Dragon Rider. They basically provide you with the spell book that all Dragon Riders get, which also has an encyclopedia of the ancient language in the front. It's just one of those things where it takes a very long time to understand each word. And so basically they'll help you identify what dragon you're going to have, what benefits that comes with it, and general purpose. And they'll try to kind of get like a general feel for what your aim is. Obviously kind of leaning towards what subclass you want to go into later, so that they know who to point you at later.
Seeker.
Like your friend Feldnot. It's very handy class, or a very handy part of our army. They are a relatively more recent addition compared to others, but they tend to make waves everywhere they go. So it shall be interesting to add another to our ranks.
I look forward to learning.
In Vondar's case, you're calm, cool, and collected. But you're also, what, level 5 as a warlock?
6.
6. You look around, and everyone around you is like... let's just say you're the only multi-class there. Everyone here looks like either to be child-aged, or this is definitely their very first outing as trying to accomplish something. And they are one of the things that stands out to you is it's very inclusive. There's not one particular type of race that dominates this room. You see an Aarakocra, you see a Tabaxi, you see a Tiefling, you see a Dragonborn, you see even a few skeletons amongst the group. So that's what you'll be doing for 2 weeks. Just to finish up with Riven, as you're standing there waiting for your master to appear, since you've never met him before, you are instantly overcome with fear. It's not that there isn't a save, it's you can't make it, even at your skill level. And it's not normal fear. It's not like being in Dragon's presence, which you would have expected amongst the Dragon Riders. This almost reminds you of Thea when you walked into that dark space that felt just infinitely cold and like something was pulling you down. Mm-hmm. Here, it's a similar feeling, except instead of pulling you down, you feel the shadows kind of wrap around your leg. Not tight, but, you know, like slithering up your leg, up to your body, and then dissipating. You feel if you were in a combat scenario and he considered you an enemy, you'd be taking a ridiculous amount of necrotic damage right now. But as it stands, it's basically skating across your body without actually doing any damage to you, but you can see the necrotic and cold energy crackling as it arcs from one shadow to another to another. And a man that looks like this appears before you. So that should also be noted. You felt him before you saw him.
Yeah, I did.
You are, the funny part is you are bigger than him. He is a normal average height person, so he's like 6'2". He kind of looks you up and down.
I just gooped on the floor a little bit because I was so scared.
Oh, that's right. You're sorry. I keep forgetting.
I don't want to talk about it.
Riven, right?
Yep.
Okay. You know what? We'll just leave you to it.
No. No.
If you'll follow me. What kind of help do you want?
Well, you can't do anything about this, right? I just like move the arms down so it just sees my goop.
He holds up a hand. He holds up a hand like he's about to do something. You see an energy start to glow in his palm, and then you hear it shatter. Oh, he takes like 3 steps back from you.
Yep.
How did you get one of their attention? They're so busy that they don't even listen to us.
I got real petty and killed the slime.
Oh, that makes perfect sense.
Well,
You'd have a better luck.
Not exactly my brightest moment. Parker's a little pissed at me.
Oh, and you have the keeper mad at you?
Well,
I can see why you came to me.
Yep.
Well, while we work on your instruction, I will see if I can figure out how to alleviate your problem.
Great. Another question for you. Might as well just get all the hard ones out of the way. I would like to say I appreciate your time very much. I know, when I've heard of you, I know you're very busy. But I was wondering if you know how to get a boon. Very specific boon that I heard of.
I mean, they're usually rewards from divine entities or those of greater power. I mean, I can technically grant a boon if it's within my domain.
Of the Elemental Lord?
Ah. Well, we can talk about that too. Yes, that is within my wheelhouse.
Well, I appreciate your time and thank you. I know you're very busy. Just for clarification, is this actually you or is this a clone of you? Because I know how you guys kind of work sometimes.
I don't have clones.
Oh,
I was forbidden by a very high power. Power even higher than the one you pissed off.
Oh.
From ever making clones of myself. After the incident.
was it? I like look around all hesitant. I was like, what was it? Was it the firstborn?
Yeah.
Damn, I thought I fucked up.
Well, when you inhabit a position like the god of magic, and then you go psycho, even he tends to take notice.
Yeah, I kind of heard about that.
If it weren't for writer Robert, I may still have been a crazy nutcase.
What? I've heard of him. I imagine you know a little bit about me, or I don't even know if I made it up to your level.
I unfortunately always know everything about everything.
I like point up at the title. Not that is not what we're talking about though.
I knew about that also.
Yep. I like look around again. I was like, I read from Thea's book. It was real bad.
Mm. He just looks at you and shakes his head. Well, I think you're going to get along famously.
Famous last words or famously dead?
Just remember, if it happens, you did it.
Whoa. Is that what I get in this partnership? You teach me and I take fault for everything?
Yes,
right.
I don't.
I'll take it.
I don't have any avatars. I don't have any clones. I don't have any Sims. I need a scapegoat of some sort, and Storm is not taking my calls anymore.
I mean, if this is how you introduce somebody, I could see why she would stop taking your calls. Then again, the magic has also shaped me a little weirdly over the years.
And so he'll lead you to. It's not different. Honestly, it's not that different of a layout from what Carcoon had. It's a tower, but this one, as you go up each floor, because he's going to take you straight to the top. As you go up each floor, you realize that if you had to fight your way through this, you'd probably die about the third or fourth room, because every room is like you're walking up a spiral staircase, right? But you know how like in older buildings the spiral staircase would have like an opening to a room and then just keep going up, right? As you look in, every floor is a dungeon. You basically get to see like the labyrinthian style of seeing how a dungeon is laid out, but you can tell each floor is its own dungeon. And you see some creatures in there that you are questioning how they are in this tower. Because they shouldn't be confined, period.
I look at him and kind of laugh, like, huh. First you have to scare the poop out of me when we first meet. And now you got this? Just trying to show off, huh? Is that how this is gonna start off?
I mean, I debated on making you fight your way through the tower to prove your worthiness.
Okay. All right. Hold on. This dude's been showing off and killing me. You need a scapegoat. That's why you didn't do it. We both know that.
Well, I mean, there's also the fact that unless you can cast 9th level spells, you can't cast magic in here. So,
I mean, this thing can, and I point to the crystal.
what crystal? As you turn to look, it's not there.
Oh.
Don't.
Oh,
He goes, wait, was it like, he kind of like points a diamond out and kind of like, oh, that's,
Yeah.
sorry, I forget that I can do this, and just major images a perfect replica of your crystal. Is this what you were looking for?
Yes.
That is going to return to its original owner until you're done here. She's kind of upset with me.
Was you?
Well, you see, she's supposed to be retired.
Oh.
She was supposed to, ride off into the sunset, sip mai tais on the beach, which you don't understand. You know what a beach is, but you don't know what a mai tai is. Dance the conga along the Milky Way. He's making references that you would possibly not understand, but as a player, you understand these guys know things. But
Bobbing a slime head like he understands.
But when I went crazy, I had to be. I don't want to say fired, but I was fired. At least until I regain a certain semblance of normalcy, and then maybe I take over the job from her again. But she's back in the saddle, and she's not entirely happy about it. So she may not let her things cross into my space.
Gotcha. Well, I am her favored. Or one of. So she would probably be mad at me.
So after going up what feels like 1,000 floors, at the very top you find a expanse that just looks like pure blue sky against almost a reflective ground. Have you ever seen pictures of Mirror Lake? Let me see if I can find one real quick.
I have.
35, 46.
But also like many I don't know, mind realms or spiritual spaces.
Yes, exactly.
That's my wrist.
Well, I'll find a picture of it later. Anyway, as you get up to the top, you see a enormous pile of bones and what looks like a swamp that does not look like it belongs in this space. And sitting on top of the pile of bones is this.
Haven't I seen this thing before? I'm pretty sure I've seen this thing before.
Oh, well, that's because Thea is also the same breed.
I'd be like, is that Thea's dragon?
No, his dragon is a offspring of mine.
Oh. Well, that's funny, because mine's an offspring of Thea's.
All right, let's get to work.
Okay.
Fade to black.
montage.
So I have notes. So 1 second. This is perfect. So we will start with Simar. So during the 2 weeks, at some point, you're just doing your training, going through the motions.
Learning monk stuff.
As you're kind of like meditating and reflecting on some of your more monkly qualities, you find yourself in a new space. It feels familiar, but it's not the normal raging sea that you're used to. It actually looks like you've come here on a calm day. And you'll see the greater dragon.
I have his name written down somewhere. So much stuff. Ryu.
Yeah, so you will see Ryu towering in his size, because even for an adult, like even for an ancient dragon, he's big. Ah, it seems it is time for your next trial.
Oh, all right. That's good to see you again.
You as well.
It's not a raging storm today. It's nice and calm.
Well, for the tone of what we're about to discuss, it better to be calm than in a frenzy. And you'll see the space of water between you start to ripple and kind of bubble up a little bit, as you can tell something is rising from beneath the waves. You see a pedestal. And on this pedestal is what looks kind of like a perfectly square rock. About the size of a head. I need you to transport this to a specific location. And not everybody might be on board with this happening. But I have been asked by a friend to get this done in preparation for something that he needs to do.
Okay. Is this something that I can get details on, or is this supposed to be as anonymous as possible?
No, I'm sorry. I'm used to speaking in riddles. I just need you to take this stone. And you'll see the water ripples again and reflects a perfect map of Alrak. I need you to take this stone, and you may need the capability of flight. But I need you to go to this space in the eastern marshes and drop this stone in the center of the hole.
Ooh. Okay. Okay.
If all goes proper, it will give birth to a new heart.
That is a very important task. Okay. Yeah, I don't see any reason why I can't do this.
The only thing I must warn you is there may be forces who would rather this didn't occur. I cannot, as I cannot name many of them because it is they are beyond even my sight. So tread carefully. But if you succeed, you shall be rewarded handsomely.
Will the party members that assist me in doing this task, will they be properly compensated as well?
Naturally.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure.
That is fair. It hasn't been that long since I was in my own adventuring party, so I understand the need to be paid.
I mean, it seems pretty straightforward. This marshland, I've never been here before. Is there any thing that we need to worry about in particular in going there?
It is mainly the home of lizard folk. And there is a rather troublesome creature there. Call it a Zaratan. Likes to pretend to be an island in the middle of the marshy waters. But unlike his normal brethren, if you step foot on that island, you will be ensnared. And you will act as his food source for the next however long you last.
That is very good to know. Well, we'll see if I can find a way to just fly over that as well.
Very well.
Alright, thank you for entrusting this task to me. I shall see that it gets done.
Very good. And in the next moment, you're back to reflecting in the material plane.
I shall keep this to myself till we meet up because I do not want to use the guild cards just in case.
That is fair.
For now, I will keep the cube, I guess, in one of my bag of holdings.
Okay. Gion. I knew this was going to happen eventually. As you train in the time is irrelevant space. One morning you wake, well, there's not really a sun, so it's hard to tell morning from night. But what you perceive as a morning, you're getting ready to perform your daily activities and training and whatnot. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
At what point in the training is this?
A weekend.
I'm gonna go ahead and spend 17.
As you're going about your daily business, a sharp pain resonates from your stomach. And for a moment, your visage of Shion dissipates, your visage of Vestiel dissipates, and you see your hands as wooden, wooden stumps, as if you are a mannequin. It is only for a moment, though, as the pain, while severe, is nothing you haven't felt. You've felt comparable pain before, and so you're able to just kind of sit there, calm yourself down, and in a brief moment after it happens, you're back to normal. As you see your visage as Shion once more.
I'm gonna take a deep breath I didn't know I was holding. Try to catch it for a little bit. I'm gonna go up to teacher, probably sitting on a desk or whatever furniture I have set up for my work area. You have any idea what that was?
It all stands up, waves its hands at you. Then looks at its hands, waves its hands at you, looks at its hands. My totem is not strong enough to interpret the magic that is enshrouded around you. The magic that gives you motor function.
Then it's probably beyond me. But I'm wondering if this is. I'm worried.
When you get more free time, see if you can come to me directly. I should be able to diagnose it personally. These totems aren't made to be an exact facsimile of me. They are meant to be instructors.
What realm shall I travel to find you?
There isn't a realm per se. Just ask Riven, he'll be able to bring you.
Ask me what?
I did have.
You're not there.
I'd like a goal, something to work towards. I guess that's vague, but I was thinking about path that I'm on and where it leads and where I want it to lead. And I've spoken to you about cultivating a divine spark. Can you offer a goal to meet to inch towards that progress?
The problem is, dear, I don't have any divine sparks to give. Every god has a limited set that they are given. I personally have used all mine. I could reach out to some friends, and you hear almost absolute disdain in this next sentence, or the other god of magic, to see if he has any left over. I don't even recall if he's ever given divinity to a being. If that is the case, we can discuss what the proper exchange in his eyes are for a divine seed, a divine spark.
When you feel I'm ready. Another question, and Jet, I don't know how to ask this question, but Shion would like to ask if in her training she could increase proficiency score.
Unfortunately, that is not something I can help you with. There is a power granted to us by the firstborn that increases proficiency, your skill level, shall we say. your general skill level. But well, I can technically grant that, but that takes 2 weeks of time to learn.
2 weeks is that an anime ability or?
Uh-huh.
Okay.
Also, you while you understand she's talking about someone powerful, you don't know what the firstborn is.
Look at my downtime guide. Yeah, okay. Is so proficiency that is. Okay, that's booked, but I will track that. Okay. Yep, my downtime will proceed as it does.
Very well. As it happens, I'm doing this in the order of time that passes. Riven, about a week and a half into your training with Draven, you're sweaty, you're exhausted. You've never cast spells like this. He twists. It's baffling. Like, Carcoon trained you, but Carcoon trained you in a very limited manner. He wanted you to learn more on your own than be completely taught. Like, Carcoon both taught you in classroom-esque setting and practical. This feels like entirely classroom settings, but you're cramming for college and a master's program at the same time. The things he's teaching you about magic, you don't even fully comprehend everything as you write it down. You're like, okay, you're just trusting what he's saying, and you're writing it down, and then you're trying it, and you're like, that doesn't make sense. And it kind of dawns on you for a moment. You've been fortunate in the divines you've met, because they're all pretty straightforward in what they are, and they're all nurturing types. Draven is not. Draven is very much, he doesn't believe the same thing that the other gods do, which is secrets must be guarded, things should be kept out of people's hands that shouldn't have them. He doesn't care about that. In theory, he'd teach you anything you ask him. The problem is that it's hurting your brain, because the Dragon Rider side of you understands what he's saying, and the former wizard side of you understands some of what he's saying. But some of the gaps that don't fill in, you realize is a natural talent of magic, which you realize means that he's also a sorcerer. So not only is he a Dragon Rider and a wizard, he's also a sorcerer. And then he's something else entirely, as this really weird, almost bionicle-like creature occasionally fights you to help you with your studies. And you've not seen this before. Like, this doesn't match any creature category you know about. This doesn't match any creature you've ever faced. It's almost like it was a Lego, and there's no better way to put it, a Lego built creature. So he has another class that you're just like, it's, what the heck is he trying to even show me?
So this, the first two I would understand, and the Sork I would understand a little bit, because I can also cast.
Yeah, but he teaches at a level that is masterclass. He has 60 levels in sorcery. He is a wild magic sorcerer, a storm sorcerer, and a wildfire sorcerer. He is a walking natural disaster, and in your lessons you learned this because he wanted to show you the strength of spell fusion. So when he shows it to you, you've actually been struck by Nuclear Strike, which is a spell fusion spell that he created. And every time you've got hit, you've barely survived.
Yes.
And that's because he is definitely pulling his punches.
Is that the atomic bomb?
It is literally called Nuclear Strike. It is a spell that I invented by building other spells.
I'm trying to think.
He also has a spell literally called Begone. But he's told you about it, he's explained it, but he's not cast it on you, because he said if he did, there is no pulling a punch. You die at your current level.
Damn it.
He tells you most divines that are below rank 10 die instantly to this spell.
Okay.
It's literally like power word, kill,
Inside
disintegrate.
In the back of my book, I write down, must learn be gone. ...
But the reason why I bring this up, you're getting ready to start your 16th day, since there were 20 days in a 2-week period. You hear ding.
Ding, ding.
Draven stops, looks around, walks over to you. Well, buddy, pats you on the shoulders. It's been fun. If you survive this, I'll finish out your training and maybe even throw you a bone. And he just flicks you in the forehead. And as he does, you find yourself in the middle of the throne room of the Honored Lady. And for the first time ever, because Riven has never met this person, even as Marcus, the Honored Lady isn't sitting on the throne. She is in full dragon form wrapped around the throne.
Oh, no.
Daddy's home.
Oh, no.
And right away, like, your Getaway insignia, the bond between you and your dragon and your ring just start to glow and heat up, not to a point where it hurts, but you can tell that you're in the presence of someone that you are meant to absolutely respect. And this is the moment Riven realizes that the Honored Lady is not the leader of the Dragon Riders.
No.
She is the partner dragon to the leader of the Dragon Riders. Let me see if I still have his picture. It does not look like... So I will just use his avatar for now.
I will bow my head and just shake my head and be like, you already used me as a scapegoat.
The difference is that this is an avatar, so this is not what he actually looks like. The guy in front of you looks like a... I want to say elf, but that's not even accurate. He looks more celestial than that. He has fair skin, golden hair, and he's wearing an emerald green armor. You've seen this metal before, but you haven't yet seen someone wear it as a full plate mail. This is an entire dragon steel crest. And you don't even have to have detect magic to feel all the magic items he's wearing. You feel like his entire equipment is a set. Something you've only heard of.
The only thing going through Riven's head is I'm so fucked right now.
So, you're the troublemaker.
What?
I've had several complaints lodged against you from several citizens, and one in particular from Keeper Carcoon. Sorry. Let me restart that. Archmagus Carcoon.
Complaints?
You apparently routinely violate the second tenet.
Oh, you try to sneak out my book. Start reading through the second tenet again.
Do not abuse your power.
Oh. I don't try to?
Well, you see, as he pulls out another file from midair, this one is dripping with slime. I also have a complaint from Attendant Bubblegum about you.
No. Yeah.
Who is a personal friend and well-respected adventurer in his own right.
It,
as
it-
as he was a member of the Last Wall. Surely you've heard of that group.
would I have?
Yeah, they are literally. There's a giant fucking statue of them in the Black City.
Okay.
They are known as the group that literally fought off a demonic invasion. Or a fiendish invasion, technically, but. But I've also. I'll go. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh no, never mind. I'm interrupting the moment. I'll ask later.
But I've also been told that you express an interest in redemption.
I do.
But do you really?
I mean, if I say yes, do I die?
No, I would not kill you. I would never kill one of my beloved children.
Ravinia hesitates. I'm sure you know of me, so I will, and I know you are extremely busy, so I will not waste time. I do not seek to break any of the rules. It's much different than what I'm used to. I spent many years as a wizard. And the changes. How do I say this? Different would be putting it in simple terms. It's vastly different. And I don't really think I mean to break rules. I think it's. I grew up in a library on Levin's Island. So, socially awkward at best. Impulsive, definitely. Creative, eh. But I also don't mean to harm. Although, I point to the title. This would say otherwise. I think my inquisitive ways get me in trouble more often than not. But if there is a way to make amends, I would.
Then a trial. Because if I gave you a curse, it would never go away.
Well, I appreciate that.
It'll be similar to a curse, but it'll be removable. You've felt one of these before when my partner inflicted her trial upon you when you were doing your trials.
The gym?
Mm-hmm. This'll be similar, but not to that extreme. She was trying to prove a point. This time I am trying to prove a point that helps drive the point home. And as he holds out his hand, you'll see another gem kind of spawn manifest in his hand. This one is prismatic. It appears to be clear until light hits it. So it's almost a diamond, but it's even more it shines greater than a diamond. This is the gem of atonement. While you bear it, you will not suffer in the way that you did before, but if you abuse a tenet of the riders, it will punish you greatly for it. If you can manage to hold on to this for 6 months, we'll wipe the slate clean. Count you as learned your lesson. And don't worry, the gym is sentient enough to know when you're abusing your power and when you're doing it for your own survival.
Okay. The fact that you even give me this opportunity to make amends and still continue my training is an honor.
I see potential. Just as Levin saw potential. And my son isn't usually wrong. His timing could be better though.
Wait, Levin's your dad?
He's my son.
Your son? Jesus. Sorry. I think I'm scared enough where it's confusing me.
I mean, I already did their family tree, but okay. It's in one of the chats.
Out of curiosity. You happen to know how to not be a slime anymore? Is there a way that I can make amends to bubblegum as well?
That is a question for him. Because unfortunately, he outranks even me.
Got it.
Though, if you want to be technical, he doesn't.
I appreciate it very much. And Lady Honora has already been so gracious as to help me. So, seems you had a great companion for your... several great companions for your travels.
It does help when you're the one who saved their life.
It does.
Very well, I will not keep you any longer. Enjoy your adventures and try to keep out of trouble.
Will do. Again, I appreciate everything.
And with a wave of his hand, you find yourself back in Raven's tower. Oh my god, you didn't die.
You didn't even tell me? You just surprised. Is that how this is gonna work? I think I was safer with Carcoon. Holy shit! I'm like pacing and panicking. Who does not tell somebody that they're gonna go meet that guy? Are you kidding me?
Well, I mean...
You're like, oh, he'll be fine. Not Blick. Congrats, you met the strongest being ever. Like, you're just like, good luck.
I mean, I don't... You know, I didn't want to get in trouble myself, so I figured if he was calling you, he didn't need me, so yeah.
Oh, God. What did I do? How do I get into a partnership with you? Like, this is great, but this is also terrible. I'm gonna die. Oh, God, I'm gonna die.
Riven spends the next 4 days training, but in the back of his mind, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, oh shit.
Yeah, I'm fucking gonna die. I'm gonna die. This is gonna die.
Alright, and last person in the list, but certainly not least, as you end your 2 weeks of training, Vondar, and I assume, what would be your first place after you've ended your training? I should go with that first.
I'd probably return to the material plane. Back to Black City.
As you do your thing, I assume you use plane shift to get to your forge first, then to the material plane?
I think I just go straight to the material plane.
Oh, fair enough. Yes, you're not... Sorry, you're on another... Yeah. You're good. As you find yourself back on the material plane, all color in the world drains for a second. And as you look around, it's like the color goes from all grayscale and everything just starts turning black. And it seems to be condensing down until you see in front of you what looks to be a longsword that is floating just a couple inches off the ground. And it's kind of bouncing up and down and turning slowly as it does that.
He sort of looks around and says, hello?
You'll see it's a strange feeling because people are walking by and you know you're there because you can feel the solid ground beneath your feet. The autumn air still giving you plenty of warmth. But they don't seem to notice you.
All right. I will attempt to pick up the sword.
Just curious, how? Do you just grab it and then pick it up, or do you hold it like point down?
He'd take it by the handle, so that when he'd be holding it properly once he grasped it.
Okay, so basically you're grabbing it and then turning it point up like you're admiring it.
Yeah.
As you turn it up, you just see this like thin, and I mean like razor thin line go across the Black City. And then almost on just a single second delay as that happens, you just see this flash. And that entire section of the city is split in half.
My house.
Uh,
Rolling a directionally challenged. I'll say it went southeast. So, your normal place is. Where do you normally warp in when you go? Like in front of the Adventurers Guild?
Yeah, I think the Adventurers Guild.
So we said southwest. Oh, look at that. You cut through nothing but empty buildings. That was convenient. Anyway, and you, as far as your eyes can see, because you have enhanced perception through your eagle eyes and stuff, you can see this line went all the way to the wall.
I'll attempt to identify the sword. Standing very still.
Uh, so you notice thus far everything you've used your arcane eye on gives you everything. It gives you what it does, its rarity, its material. This one, it gives you its name, it gives you its material, but not its rarity, or rather, its rarity comes up as unknown. And its description as far as what it does, you know right away this is not what it does. This is just instructions for the person holding it.
I will say Sariel.
And as you do that, black expands out from the blade, and then the colorness expands out, and everything goes back to normal. And you'll see the damage you did not actually happen. And its blade is currently like an ivory white.
I will attempt contact other plane to try and speak with Lynx. What's this?
I was just about to look
What
at it.
is save?
Content explainer. You need to make an intelligence save. That would succeed.
And I'll next link. How did this sword appear before me?
Uh, it sensed the birth of a true smith.
What am I supposed to do with it?
Unclear. Study it? Question mark.
Okay. Is it safe to put it in a bag of holding or?
Yes, as long as it's dormant.
Okay, I'll put it in the bag of holding then.
Any more questions for him? You have 2 more.
No, I think that's it. I need to
Uh,
roll D6. I take 2 damage.
As you feel the effects of your spell end, you feel something inside you shift. You feel as if you have gained you've gained something that has been long forgotten, and you've been granted an ability that you don't understand yet, but you feel like the core of your being has changed, your identity. You're no longer just Vondar the blacksmith, warlock gunslinger of Lynx. You are now something else that you must discover. And all of this occurred just by taking hold of a sword.
I think I'm just waiting for everyone else to get here.
And I assume everybody else would meet up in the same location.
Hey guys, how's it going?
Did
Been a productive week with some jump scares, but been okay.
did Draven figure out a way to remove this slime? I imagine probably not.
Not that I can answer at the moment.
Okay,
That requires input from somebody else.
gotcha.
Jet, is there an import for the Dragon Rider class?
There should be under items an entire folder called Dragon Rider that you should be able to drag over, and it'll treat it like the class.
Okay.
I'll make sure you have ownership.
Yeah, I see it.
Okay, good. Yeah, if you just drag Dragon Rider over, it'll treat it like a class. And actually, I've set it up so it should import most of your features and stuff.
Riven just looks shell shocked.
Riven is traumatized. Leon is traumatized.
Shion got spooked. Not a little traumatized, but spooked.
That's fair.
Shion does occasionally make a habit of touching her face every now and then.
So she's back to doing that. I don't think you need to worry about your face. You're pretty as is.
Did I get my crystal back?
Yes, as soon as you appear on this plane, it shows up again.
I just pet it. I'm like,
We all have our bad wishing, or things that worry us in the back of our minds.
Yeah, because clearly something happened with you and him and Vondar. I don't know. He looks fresher somehow.
Vondar looks fresh. Is he wearing a brand new pair of sneakers and his hair is slicked back?
No, it just feels like younger, maybe. I don't know. Did you hit up some hot springs?
Is his change like visible to us in his like aura, in his presence?
In his presence, yes, and there's no physical change as far as you can tell. But something does feel different about him.
Well, I have a personal matter that I'd like to bring forward to the group, but it is a conversation that needs to happen in a place without any scrying or arcane eyes or anything that could eavesdrop on us.
Philma, could you supply us with such a location?
I could. I won't, but I could.
Opens a portal.
Okay, enter the portal.
You'll see a familiar mansion.
Alright, once everyone is inside and the portal is closed, so I have been entrusted with I'm going to call it a prototype catalyst. And the purpose of it is to fix or replace the heart that is missing from the swamplands, and my task is to put it into the hole.
Okay, coming right out of the gate, swinging with a big stick of news of what's happened to us over the past 2 weeks. That is that is big.
That is pretty huge, and I mean, getting there is not really the problem. But flying over the hole to drop it in, that's something that we need a solution for. If there was a person that we knew that like maxed out their fly ability, that would be ideal.
I could turn one of us into a rock.
I don't think a flying carpet is too expensive. You get a bunch of rares, I think, or are they very rare?
A flying carpet big enough for all of us. Riven's pretty big.
That's why we get
I'm a
two.
slime. I can fit anywhere.
Oh, that's right. He's a slime. I forget. Items. Flying carpet. I'm assuming we're going to grab the biggest one, which is 6 foot by 9 foot, which is very rare. They're all very rare. Carry up to 800 pounds at fly speed of 30 feet. Carpet can carry up to twice this weight, but fly at half speed if it carries more than its normal capacity. I don't think we weigh over 800 pounds.
Well, actually, I think all of us combined we do. Well, actually not.
All of us combined.
I mean, Riven's a slime.
Riven's a slime.
I mean, I could just use my broom of flying at that point. I think the thing I was concerned about is speed, because there are other forces at work that don't want to see something like this get fixed. And they're probably, if they do send agents, are probably going to be a lot faster than a broom of flying. Or maybe like a giant dragon, or I don't know. It could be any number of chaos things.
I'm not married to this idea, so if you have a better one, by all means. But a rock has a 120-foot fly speed.
I mean, depending on how things go, I might have a 360 flying speed. Just depends on what Czar's doing.
You take a form big enough for us all to ride on top of?
I can take the form of a fortress dragon.
That works.
Well, there we go.
Well, again, this is all contingent on what Czar's doing. If Czar's doing what I think he's doing, then I'll be able to do that.
How do you not know what Czar's doing?
Because somewhere in my soul is a cardboard cutout, okay? This is the quiet. I'm telling you, this is the quietest it's ever been. I mean, my 2 weeks were uneventful, so sounds like you got a good one.
Well, I mean, I haven't really been completely forthright with you. There hasn't been a really reason why I've been hiding things. But I suppose just I should air some of my own dirty laundry of what's going on. And aforementioned things that worry Shion's. Wizards, when we get to a certain level, start to accumulate contingencies and contingencies. Contingencies upon contingencies in the case of their death. I have a few of those. However, this is part of that. This was not a part of that. My soul is not inhabited in my body. So I'm kind of flying on remote control right now, and that connection had a hiccup during my training, which is why I'd seem a little bit out of it.
Hold on. Let me make sure I understand this. So, wizard contingency stuff, right? So what do you mean by remote control? Like, because you said something about your soul. So so the you that we're talking to is the soul you or the body you?
Neither, actually. The form that you see is, I guess, the closest would be a golem that is being controlled remotely by the soul. The soul is not here, and the body is fucking who knows where. The original body, at least. And there are obfuscations that hide that fact, as you can see by looking at it. And it was those obfuscations that had a hiccup. So if ever you see my form take a strange shape, that's why.
Okay, so you're
being
kind
said,
of like an echo.
in a manner of speaking, my soul, the way it was described to me, is imagine pulling a dungeon card from the deck of many things,
Oh.
which makes it quite inaccessible, but I'm working on it.
Oh! Talking to you reminded me. I'm sorry. Is your last name Hykenian?
Yes. Not known this entire time.
I'm sorry. I barely register that you exist sometimes.
I am your follower.
You are? Zara, when did we do this? Shit, he's a cardboard cutout.
Yes.
Must have been one of the clones.
One of my best friends felt not. I imagine you're fucking hearing that.
Oh, he totally is. Absolutely.
I have enough passive insight.
Well, I heard something interesting over the break. I know you were in my other pocket dimension, so you probably didn't hear something, but I heard something interesting about someone named you see him pull out a notepad and then put on some glasses. A Duke Hykenian?
My father.
Yeah, he's been arrested. Sorry, Count Hykenian.
Huh.
He's been arrested. Apparently you're free to go now. Emperor.
Charges get high enough to accuse me of attempting assassination of the Emperor, it gets to be of a point where questions start to actually get asked.
Well, apparently the emperor came back from his political conferences and found out that your father has been abusing his power and putting in quests to hunt you down for illegitimate reasons. And they tell me that the emperor may be a sketchy guy, but at the end of the day, he's incredibly lawful. And he did not like that. A member of his court is abusing his power in such a way. So your father is going to be serving some time.
I didn't want it to end that way, but I don't know how else it was going to end.
Well, yeah. But hey, we no longer have to worry about you getting us in trouble.
Yeah, that's positive.
By the way,
Thankfully-
Feld
Yes, sir.
Go ahead, Mondar.
and Thunder will reach into his bag and pulls out the sword and says, "This belonged to your grandmother."
The look on his face goes from his normal, like, jovial slash semi-serious to, how the fuck did you get that? He starts slinking back slowly.
Yeah, it just kind of appeared in front of me, floating in the air.
That's not my grandmother's. That's my grandfather's.
When you hear that, that's also when you hear Riven say, "I met Levin's dad." Like still shell shocked with eyes glazed over.
Levin has a dad?
Yeah. Yeah. You want to tell him? Tell him?
I mean, he is the actual leader of the Dragon Riders. My grandmother is his partner dragon. Sorry, El. Please don't kill me. And you get the feeling, Vondar, that he's not actually talking to you when he says that. He's actually talking to the sword. I know. That was the funny part is I made this sword and I was pulling out just a random name for it. And I'm like, yeah, that sounds like a cool name. And then I was going over my notes later. I'm like, wait a minute. That was one of Yuki's characters. Well, too late now. Lore's already written. I will ask my grandfather what he wants you to do with that.
Thanks. I'll put it away again.
So, anyways, back to the contingency stuff. Something ever happens to me, don't try to revivify me. I'll figure it out myself. If I don't show up within a day, then yeah, maybe start trying to call in favors or magics to get my ass, but I should be able to take care of it myself.
That's worrisome, but
I'm sorry, Levin's father?
Yeah, he's a celestial entity. I've only met Grandpa a couple times. He scares me.
Yeah, he scared me too.
He's like the literal first Dragon Rider. And the story of how he became a Dragon Rider is crazy.
Yeah. I also got trained by Draven.
The psychopath?
Do what?
The psychopath?
Yeah. That's pretty accurate.
he got trained by a psychopath.
I feel like Vondar and I had the less short end of the stick for Dragon Rider teachers.
Who the hell did you guys have?
He actually came up in my 2 weeks too. Teacher doesn't really like him.
Oh. Apparently there's an amendment to you, Riven.
What?
You are now a tiny dragonborn torso and head, but with a slime legs and arms.
Oh boy, so I can't even keep the body up now? Do I just keep shrinking because I can't hold my form?
Wouldn't that just be a dragon head puddle?
Yeah.
Oh, at least you can eat again.
Can you eat things with your hands now?
I don't know. Let's see. I'll go to touch it. Is there any bread or anything around?
I'll pull out some traveler's bread.
I'm just gonna hold it inside of my hand.
Yep, you're able to do that.
Yep. That's gonna be weird. That basically means every time I touch a doorknob, I'm gonna be licking it.
Yeah.
This poor man essentially met his gods looking like that.
That is a very good way to put it. So, Apparently, Von Dart, Grandpa says, if it appeared before you, then you're the first of your kind in over a millennia. He suggests just taking the time to study it, and obviously don't use it. I'm sure you know why.
Yes.
And when you have learned enough that the sword talks to you, then I am to bring you to him so that he can start teaching you how to be a true Dragon Rider Smith. Because apparently Lynx isn't a true Dragon Rider Smith. So we've been lacking one for millennia.
All right.
Well, team, this was fun.
Apparently, I just got a quest. You guys did terrible, horrible, or horrifying things.
Well, to be fair, I assume your entity is a nicer, more calm entity. Although I wouldn't say Grandpa is not calm. In fact, he's like the picturesque version of calm. It's just the vibe you get.
Are we 6th or 7th level? We're 6th, right?
7th.
We're 7th. Axiom has changed.
Oh yes, young dragon is at 7th level, isn't it?
Yeah.
All right, I'll have to work on statting him out.
Yay, homework.
I look at him. Alright, time to get off, bud. You're too big now.
Ha!
So where would we go from here? Get to the swamps.
Yeah, which I wanted to ask Field not.
Oh, that reminds me. Sorry, it was an eventful 2 weeks for me that I'm not even sure what we did. It happened in a blur, you know? Almost as if 50% of me is gone, so I can't make 50% of my decisions. He holds out a belt.
I was about to ask. Thank you.
It looks similar to the one that Feldnot has, but it's a little different. And you get the feeling that it's not because it's a different item. It's just the way that it was constructed was different.
Ooh.
My dad doesn't like to make repeats,
Oh.
so he just changed the style up a little bit. Yours actually has like a giant eyeball in the middle.
That's also neat.
So now I can tell you everything that it does.
Oh boy.
Because it does slightly more than I explained.
So I'm assuming you just copy pasta into my character sheet.
I am going to Simamar. Am I not spelling your name right? I am not spelling your name right. There we go. I always think there's supposed to be an extra M. As soon as you... Well, I guess you have to attune to it first.
Hell.
Oh, wait, no, you don't. I'm sorry. That was actually part of... If you're using the exact recipe that Feldnot gave you, it's not attunement.
What?
You don't know how much Feld paid his dad to make it not attunement. It is an excessive amount of money for that. But we had so much money to spend, and Feld doesn't really... Because he can't wear armor, it's hard to find things to spend money on. I'm right up there with you guys in terms of trying to figure out how to spend 10 million-esque money.
Praise be.
Now, where are you?
I found a chunk of aerolite, the super light metal.
Yeah.
Could I use that to build some sort of like boat kind of thing to
Yes.
fly us over the pit?
Yes, you are. Thanks to your arcane eye and the knowledge it grants you aside from what you already knew, you're aware that air-light properties grant flight or floating. So, oftentimes airships are actually made with aerolite because it's cheaper than having to make some. So, to your knowledge, earlier versions of airships actually used to use monster crystals that were basically like crushed up and then formed into a giant crystal. But that is expensive. So basically, once they figured out how to find airlight more reliably, they started building airships with airlight.
All right, so I could try to build something to get us over the swamp.
That wouldn't be a bad idea. Okay. Apparently, that was only for when you were with Draven. Now that you're standing in front of your friends, you're actually a tiny ribbon.
That's even better.
Is it though? Because when I say tiny, I actually mean the size tiny. You went from being large to tiny. But hey, at least you're not slime anymore and you're not tasting the things that you touch. By the way, every time you had to touch Draven's hand, it tasted like licorice.
Oh,
But not the good licorice, like the kind that's been sitting in the bowl for like a year and a half.
Why is my strength score still 20?
You probably have something in your effects overriding your strength.
Dex, con, int, whiz, charisma. No, there's just no override for strength.
Oh, kind of.
Womp womp. I got it. Well, I don't need this headband of intellect anymore.
I know. That's kind of why I had the belt made. Because that's exactly what Feldnot had. The original belt he had, the Duos belt, granted him, was basically a headband intellect and...
This is weird. I'm so much smarter, wiser, sexier. Phew. Start
What is that?
Johnny Bravo.
What the hell does that thing give you?
29 at all stats and telepathy up to what? 10, a mile? 10 miles?
10 miles.
Can we make a second one of those?
Unfortunately, I don't have any more material, so you'd have to do what Simar did.
How much did that cost?
I spent 500,000. And it's only because Fieldnut had extras of all of the components way back when he gathered them all. I don't want to know how expensive it was to actually get his father to make it in the first place.
Well, it wasn't expensive. It was expensive to have it modified to be non-attunement.
Would it override, like if your stats are higher than 29, would it override those?
No.
Yeah. Can I put it in the quest to get one of those mate? That sounds real nice.
Well, currently there's no adventuring guild.
Yeah.
Yeah, you would have to put it in a quest to get the components to then make it. Which all of the creatures are what, CR 29, 30, 31-ish?
There's one that's CR 21. The rest are high.
Got it. I'll have to put it in later then. Or can I input it through the guild card? Is that an option?
I did it at the guild hall.
You'll notice your guild card is not currently working.
I'm gonna blame it on Draven.
No, you're
Did you say there's no adventurers guild?
not here. As he points around to his pocket dimension you guys have all been standing in.
Oh,
Oh, right.
Yeah,
yeah, we were in here.
yeah, we came here to talk about this, I don't know, kind of heart that I've been entrusted to put into the swamp.
Yeah, we can do that.
We should but first, if we could go back to the Black City very briefly. Something I want to do first.
All right, opens the portal.
I'll step out.
Falls over unconscious.
I'm gonna cast a descendant spell.
Go for it. Is it to someone on this plane? Or at least you assume it's on this plane.
I assume they're on this plane. Stand by.
Feel free to send it in your private chat if you want to do it that way. I'm going to grab some water while you do that.
Here's a question. Can a dragon use horseshoes of speed? It has 4 legs.
I imagine they can make something equivalent for dragons.
I am going to send it to, fine, you can do it out here. One, Count Harkin Hiking.
Your spell instantly fails.
Fair enough.
You'd go to cast the spell, and you wouldn't even feel the magic take a hold, and you would know immediately your target isn't a place where sending cannot be used.
Oh,
Well, that's fun.
There's one. Hey, Riven. Wait, hang on.
Yeah.
Was it Monday's party or Wednesday's party that went there? Both parties equally caused. Oh, it was Wednesday's. Okay, thank you. Never mind then.
we're the good party, supposedly.
This time around.
All the times that I've been here.
Ah, I see. So you're our moral compass.
I guess.
Alright, I'm gonna attempt to cast sending to somebody else. The younger son, Hastain, the one I talked to earlier. I heard what happened. I assume it's safe to speak now. What do we do about this?
Unfortunately, nothing. If it were a sentence handed down by someone lesser, we might be able to do something. But the Emperor was very furious when he found out about what our father was doing. Narf narf.
Snarf, snarf.
He didn't actually send that. I just had 2 extra words.
I'm gonna send one more. how are things back home? Has Arnfort ascended, or are things bad? Meaning, are we like ousted as the family?
Unclear. There is an investigation underway to discover the depth that this ran. If our other brothers did not have a hand in this, then they will not be held accountable for our father's actions.
Let's see. Here's a
Well, now I'm
D10.
ready to come back.
The portal's still open because Feldnot is unconscious currently.
Oh, okay. I just.
I was gonna do some shopping. I wanted to pick something up.
Yeah, go for it.
I would have helped out.
As we were all in one place for the split second, I say, well, I might be getting questioned at some point and may or may not have to make a court appearance. We shall see.
Neat.
Is there a Bengal of Arcane Assassin? It's rare.
So 10, 20, 30, 42. Then we're 7, so 9, 7.
Yes.
Cool. I'll use one of my rare vouchers.
Alrighty, thank you for the business.
80 comes 91 minus 15.
What about Medusan Laveler?
What rarity is that one?
Rare.
Yes.
Cool. I'll use another rare voucher. Thank you.
So I was waiting till I got evasion till I swapped this armor out, but not wearing armor, I can move like the literal wind and water. Anyone know of any ways to get an evasion through an item?
Ring of evasion.
That just is if you fail a saving throw, you can choose to succeed it instead. Not the half damage or no damage.
The rogue effect, yes.
Yeah.
Are you a rogue, sir?
I am a monk. I get evasion at 7th level.
Oh, well, yeah, okay.
Multi-class monster. I got 5 levels to go till that.
1 second. The answer is maybe.
Oh dear.
Forecast unclear.
That's fair.
I forgot that it actually does have a. The thing I was thinking does say you have to meet the class's level requirement in order to get it.
Level requirement for.
Whatever the class is, the class feature you want.
Gotcha.
And you're not. You said you that's monk 7th,
Yep. So 5 levels from now.
and you're not 7th level in any other class, obviously.
No.
Okay.
4 ranger, 2 monk, 1 sorcerer. It'll make sense eventually. Wait till I add in the rogue and the paladin.
Not any weirder than me, friend. Not any weirder than me.
Oh, let's not linger on this topic too much, for we have things to do. I'll just live with getting fireballed and probably dying.
As you guys start to walk away, a man in a top hat appears. The rest of you don't know him, but Riven, you know immediately who this is. And you all immediately feel that cold and necrotic effect. Again, you're not designated as enemies, so it's not hurting you. But you feel it creeping up you, and it does not feel pleasant.
It's like General Jewel, but less cold.
General Jewel was significantly weaker than I am.
Very well.
But you're comparing a mortal to a god, so... Anyway, I'm here for you, looks at Riven. I forgot. I told you that I could throw you a bone if you survive.
Yeah. I forgot too.
Oh.
You see him cock back his leg, since you're tiny right now, and he kicks you like a football as he disappears.
Oh, God. No.
Should I go after him? I'll turn on my fast and run after Riven. Make sure he's alive.
Let's see. So he can't miss because Divines at rank 20 can just choose to roll a 20. And even though he's not a physical type, he would still deal. It's 1 plus strength modifier. Plus 20d8. No, sorry, 20. Not 20d8, 20.
20d8 for fall damage.
Well,
20d6.
this is where the next effect comes into play.
Oh, boy.
It's 20 for his divinity, plus 1 for just because he wasn't hitting you with magical weaponry. But it adds his strength, which is a 30. So that's 9.
10.
You're right. It's 10.
I'm looking
Is
at a
that-
lot of 9s right now.
I'm gonna have to import that, right?
No, it should be in the item section.
Okay.
And then, oh yeah, that's right. He has auto conversion. I'm sorry, Riven. This is lightning damage.
Oh,
That supersedes immunities. Do you have immunity to lightning damage?
no. Not
Do you
yet.
have resistance?
Don't think so. Yes.
Hang on. Now I gotta go.
Can hurt even more.
Hang on. I have to go look at how that ability works. 1 second.
I can tell you. Hold on. Which one?
Piercing thunder immunity.
Resistance is
Regular.
downgraded to neutral.
Yeah. So your resistance is bypassed in this instance.
Yep.
It's converted to lightning. Luckily, there's no dice to roll, so they don't get to go up a level. Yeah, he doesn't have any other autos. I just want to make sure he didn't have any more automated actions that happen automatically. 31.
Wait, does this work? Because it has to be a sorcerer?
Yes, it works.
Okay.
So as you kind of get under him, Simar running to catch him, you'll notice just before he lands, a spell seems to activate on him. Like you see a little like blue mote on his body just pop, and he just starts to float down as if he's under the effect of Featherfall.
You okay?
Yeah. That guy's a good teacher. He's an asshole, but he's a good teacher.
All right.
This is going to be a good partnership, assuming that I can live.
I worry for your future.
That makes two of us. Levin was way safer than this.
The funny part is that Draven is an avatar of Levin, or was. So ask yourself, what the fuck happened to this guy?
Yeah.
If we're all back together,
Yeah,
we still
I'll
have that
bring Riven
boon
back.
scroll.
Boon
Do any of
scroll.
you
The boon scroll.
know comprehend languages so we can translate this properly? Oh, right, you weren't here for that. I got, as part of the reward for completing the statue of Bahamut,
Oh, nice.
I got a scroll that will grant all of us a boon.
Yeah, I'll
Right.
use comprehend languages, and I can read it.
You have to read it like you're incanting the scroll.
Yeah. Should be pretty easy.
It is an ancient draconic.
And from your knowledge, because you were the one who told the party this, so I will impart it to you as the player. Ancient Draconic hasn't been spoken since before time began, as far as you guys are concerned.
So it's going to take me some time? That's what I'm hearing?
As you start to sound it out, enunciate properly, keep saying it in the correct words, it's like speaking Entish.
Okay.
It'll take Riven about 30 minutes to actually do this whole spell.
Perfect.
Begins to flex.
If nobody's doing anything monumental for those 30 minutes, 30 minutes goes by. And as you say the last word, this page begins to glow. I will need to write it up and I will add it to every sheet, but you gain the boon of canaries.
That's kind of foreboding, actually. But I'm also used to minor canaries, so that's why.
You would know. Like I said, I gotta do write up, but basically, you know that this boon once a day allows you to summon 7 yellow canaries. But canaries is in quotations. Who did we lose?
Grim.
Oh, okay. At your current level, canaries translates to 7 young gold dragons.
Oh.
I mean, that's pretty ridiculous.
And you know that this boon is a growth boon, meaning that at certain milestones or levels of experience, yes, they get bigger. To the point where they eventually become ancient gold dragons.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 31 dragons. If we all use it at once.
Mm-hmm.
Does it have a recharge, or is it a one-time?
Once a day.
What's it? Oh, dude, that's awesome.
I will also say they do have a mind of their own, so if you're doing something that's just morally wrong because these are supposed to be representative of the lawful good dragon, they're not going to partake. So be aware of that. So no summoning 31 dragons to then decimate a city, unless the city happens to be in hell.
I'm back.
You can go hang out with 11. Or sorry, Draven. And Hades.
For myself, yeah, this was intended to help people with a war, but the parties couldn't. The parties couldn't get the statue to where it was supposed to go.
So that means that there were other platinum statues of Bahamut made. They're just lost.
Destroyed or lost. Yeah. But as far as you guys know, so the local lore says that one has never been made. Because it's just, the rumor mill likes to make things exaggerated. So, obviously, one has never been made successfully. So, in some regard, that's true. But there actually have been platinum statues. And they were in transit. The party has saw them several times. They just never made it to their destination.
And this is why we can't have nice things. Well, Vondar, since you're going to build a flying thing, would you like help?
Sure.
Do Do you know what you're gonna go for? Is this gonna be like an airship? Is there gonna be wood?
Uh, I I remember I found a lump of the aerolite.
Right.
I don't remember if you ever said how much of it was. I mean, I imagine I can't build the entire ship out of that.
No, but you could build approximately 30 by 30 space with it.
I mean, that's a decent size airship for a venturing party.
Yeah.
I haven't tried any. I mean, if you want to, because I know obviously the aerolite's going to be the center of it, but like the rest of the airship is probably going to be made out of a lighter material unless you have a metal alternative for that, like mithril or.
The only metal I have in sufficient quantity is that geo adamantite. Whatever.
Right, but you haven't figured out how to work with that yet, right?
I haven't really gotten Gaia adamantite. I haven't really gotten the opportunity focusing on the statue and the other project.
Right. So if we want to build something now, I can do like the cabins and all the stuff out of wood, and you can do the aerolite generator thing, aerolite bone skeleton. I don't know how airships work, but at least we can do kind of a half and half like that to get it done now. Maybe build it in a way that it can be easily taken apart and refitted with metal components later.
That should work, yeah.
Yeah, think of it as blueprinting. We're making the wooden model first before we make the super fancy space adamantine from space super rock version.
I imagine the Gaia adamantite would be too heavy for this amount of aerolite.
Isn't adamantite really light?
Adamantine's super dense. It's very
No,
heavy.
I'm thinking of mithril.
Mithril is.
Yeah. I mean, does it make what it touches weightless, or does it remove weight?
I remember I floated just by holding it. So it definitely has some amount of actual lift. It doesn't just make things lighter. But I imagine there's a limit.
Don't we have airship yards? We have airship yards here in the Black City. Why don't we go talk to the engineers over there? Get some insights into this.
Yeah. Okay, we can check that out
Yeah.
if there are.
I will
Airship.
go check another person. We're just looking for an airship, right?
Oh, we're talking about building an airship because he has the aerolite to make one.
We could also reach out to Lynx. Are
What?
are you wanting to build it, Hondar?
Are you doing this because you want to, or because of our current quest?
Mostly for the quest.
Yeah. I mean, if that's the case, we could just put in an order, and they would have way more people building on it. But if you want to build it, I'm totally down for that because that'd be cool.
Oh yeah, I was thinking Felna was just going to fly us there.
There's a 50% chance that could be the case.
I'm down for an airship too.
I mean, the quest isn't, well, it's not necessarily time sensitive, and we're going to be working in private demi planes, or at least very private spaces. So I don't think the forces of the unknown are going to, murder me in my sleep.
Well, while you guys contemplate that, I'd say this is a good point to stop for tonight.
Yeah.
I gotta chart some stuff out for us. Obviously, I have a
Cool.
boon to make now.
Right.
Thank you, everybody, for coming out to stream today. If you enjoyed our content, please feel free to drop us a follow. We would really appreciate the support. And tune in Mondays and Wednesdays for our D&D content. Want to keep up with the events and extra streams? Please check out our Facebook and Twitter to keep up to date on the schedule releases and updates for the streams, including extra streams that we may not have on schedule. And if you would like to see previous content that we've done, check us out on YouTube at Epitaph of Creation. Thank you so much for coming out today, and have a good night, everybody.